hills of Dakota there lived a young boy named Rocky Raccoon. One day his woman ran off with another guy, hit young Rocky in the eye. Rocky didn't like that, he said, I'm gonna get that boy. So one day he walked into town and booked himself a room in the local saloon. Rocky Raccoon checked into his room, only to find Gideon's Bible. Rocky had come equipped with a gun to shoot off the legs of his rival. His rival, it seemed, had broken his dreams by stealing the girl of his fancy. Her name was McGill, she called herself Lil, and everyone knew her as Nancy. Now she and her man, who called himself Dan, were in the next room at the hold down. Rocky burst in and grinning that grin, he said, Danny boy, this is a showdown. But Daniel was hot, he drew first and shot, and Rocky collapsed in the corner. Oh, yeah, yeah. Na 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 Doctor came in, stinking of gin, proceeded to lie on the table. He said, Rocky, you've met your match. Rocky said, Doc, it's only a scratch. I'll be better, Doc, as soon as I am able. Now Rocky Raccoon fell back in his room, only to find Gideon's Bible. Gideon checked out and left it, no doubt, to help with good Rocky's revival. Come on, Rocky boy. Come on, Rocky boy. Sorry, Rocky. Now, initially this song seems really simple, and it is, but it's a little bit more complex than I initially thought once I started listening to the original version from the White Album. The chords are A minor, D, G7, and C. But what's special about what they do here is when you listen in real closely on the guitar, they actually have this droning G note happening. So I went through and created the chords like this. A with the G note on top. 2 open, 3 open. And then that segues beautifully into the D suspended. So it's 2, 2, 3 open. And then we just pull that ring finger back so it's 2, 2, 2 open for the D chord. Then the middle finger can stay right where it's at and you switch over to your G7. And then when I go back to the C chord, I slide in, but I add that G back in. And then there's a little walk down, which we will officially call a C major 7. And then it goes back into the A minor. So you want to make sure that when you switch from the C major 7 I would have been here at that point. So I want to make sure I switch back over to my index and my ring fingers. Now I will make mention that with those chords, when you listen closely, it sounds to me like on the chorus, they're not doing the D suspended. So I did my best to just jump right into the D. But if your muscle memory tells you to do a suspended and then a D, like mine did, I don't think it's really going to make that big a difference. The strum is pretty interesting here. I've done 3 different strums. I keep it really basic and simple with this one. Intro of the song, when the doctor comes in, and also at the end when Rocky falls back into his room. I use that strum and I alternate it with this, what I'm going to call the circle strum, which is a now you can do a circular motion with your hand, which makes it pretty interesting visually. I learned that from Little Rev, who's going to be in Reno at the Reno Ukulele Festival this year, by the way, October. Tickets go on sale next weekend, so make sure you get your early bird ticket. And so that kind of adds to a nice little visual appeal. But really what you're doing is you're going touch, down, up, down, up, down, up, touch, down, up, down, up, down, up, touch, down, up, down, up, down, up. So it's got a little bit of a swing. And we want to make sure that you're not hitting the strings too hard, because we want the verse to be nice and quiet, or a little more quiet than the chorus. So if you want your chorus to be big and boisterous, then you can make it big, but one way of making it seem big is if you do your verses a little bit quieter. So we are doing something that's kind of busy, but I've really kind of just let my finger be real kind of weak, as opposed to, we don't need the power on the verse, but we do need it on the chorus. So the chorus is a strum that I call the mosey. I use the touch, this touching of the G string, I use that a lot. So touch, down, touch, up, down, up, touch, down, touch, up, down, up, touch, down, touch, up, down, up. Okay, so it's got that backbeat, which I learned from Stu Fuchs. And it kind of has like a real nice bounce to it. So if I go into the chorus from the verse, I'll do one verse and then into the chorus. So she and her man who call himself Dan were in the next room at the Hoedown, which has a cool riff. Rocky burst in and grinning that grin. He said, Daniel, okay, but Daniel was hot. 2, 3, 4. Daniel was hot. He drew first and shot. And Rocky collapsed in the corner. Ah, yeah, yeah. The transition's a bit rough. So you'll need to work on that transition from the chorus back into the verse. You could also just do a smaller version of the chorus on the verse, but if you want it to sound like the original, you're going to want to do that circle strum. Now finally, there are 2 interesting things that are happening here that I've decided to add in. I wanted to pull out some of that harmonica sound. So I did a riff on We're in the next room at the Hoedown. Alright, so we'll learn that, and we'll also learn the final harmonic at the very, very end. So the riff, I'm doing a C chord, open, open, 3, 3. So then I'm hammering on with my ring finger from the G to the A note and back. It's actually a hammer and then a pull off. So I pluck it once, hammer, pull. And when I pull, I'm just plucking the string. I'm pressing my finger into the fretboard and pulling it back toward the palm of my hand. You gotta make sure that this is nice and strong when you do it. Should be able to practice like that. And then I go into a slide from F to E. And then we're gonna hit the D note, hammer back to the E, E, F, E, then D, open C, A minor chord. Now remember, if you're looking for the tablature on this, if you're a visual learner, you can always find it under my Patreon account. Come and support the project and you get all of the Patreon archives, all of the PDFs. I'll show you one more time. And strum. Practice that a bunch of times. I had planned to record this video yesterday, and when it came down to it, first off, I hadn't found this fabulous skirt yet. But I did sit out on my front patio with the sun shining, which is a little bit rare here, and I just played it over and over and over. And I sang the right lyrics in and the right lyrics out so that they would become natural. And I tell you what, I didn't feel like I had that big a trouble with it today. So practice makes perfect. Practice also makes permanent. So make sure that you're practicing correctly. Finally, we're going to have just a harmonic here. So at the very end of the song, the harmonica goes. So I thought, that'd be kind of fun to do a C harmonic. So that's where you touch the string just over the metal bar. I know when you play a fret and you press the string all the way down, usually it's behind the metal bar that you want to be, like that. But actually a harmonic, you got to be right on top of it. So place your finger on it, just like you're teasing the string to pretend like you're pressing on it, but you're not. And then underneath, you're going to take your thumb, pluck the string, and then get off of there. Harmonics are really cool. I use them in a lot of music. I play with Daniel Ho. So you can do one on each string. You have to make sure that you're on top of fret 12. That's bar 12. The 12th fret or the 12th bar. Count all the way up and make sure you got it. Mine's got a little daisy on there, so I know that it's number 12. And that will take some practice. So be patient with yourself. Other than that, I would say that the lyrics and the vocals, you want to make sure you listen to the original a lot. This is the key that the Beatles did it in. So you can put it on, you can practice your strum, practice your chords, practice singing. For that intro, it is pretty syncopated. I would consider it, I guess you could say it's syncopated. It's pretty much like conversational, but some of the lyrics do match up with the downbeat. So the way I think of it is, it's almost like I'm chewing gum. Now somewhere in the Black Mountain Hills of Dakota, there lived a young boy named Rocky Raccoon. So you gotta kind of pretend like wah, 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 almost like you're a Muppet opening up your mouth. And then of course the lyrics tell a story. So just sing them again and again, tell the story, and you're golden. So thank you very, very much for watching today's tutorial. I hope that you're enjoying the Flower Power series. Check out my page for more videos. Make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, hit the little bell so that you'll be notified whenever I have a new video out. And also leave a comment if you can. I'd love to have a chat with you, and I always respond to all of the comments. Again, if you'd like to support this project or you'd like to hang out with me a little bit more online in kind of a more friendly setting, then you can head over to Patreon and become a patron. You can also find us on Instagram, Facebook, and we will soon be joining TikTok. So you can find out more information there. We have all kinds of fun stuff. Finally, if you want to learn from Perry or I in person, you will be meeting Perry soon because he's starting a Riff of the Week series. Then you can come on over to starlightukes.com. Join us for a Zoom class. We teach 5 topics a month, 3-week courses, so that we can really dive deep into some of these concepts. And if you want to know more about this ukulele I'm playing by the fabulous Ohana Ukulele Company, then you can check out more on starlightukes.com. You can email me. Everything's in the link in the bio in the description. And on top of all of that, I hope you have a very sparkly day.